going to talk fast, and if I need to slow down, here we go. My name is Heidi McCravey. I'm the consultant for all 17 high schools in Cobb County for the ESOL Title III program. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Ellevation, which is a program that all teachers can use in their classroom, gen ed teachers. I started out at Osborne High School as an ESOL teacher, and then a department chair, and then assistant principal at Rathke every year, and so I will give me a hard time here in this presentation. But anyway, and now at the district office working with ELL. So I know a lot of times you get ESOL students in your class, and you're not ESOL certified, you're not ESOL endorsed, you have no clue what to do with them. You're like, oh my gosh, they don't speak English, what am I supposed to do? You have the counselor, help. We're hoping we will ease some of that anxiety by this program that we are going to show you today. The superintendent's priorities: making Cobb the best place to teach, lead, and learn, simplify and strengthen the foundation for teaching and learning to prepare for innovation, and using data to make decisions. CTLS resource library best practices. Basically, you're the teacher. It's your responsibility to make sure the content is age appropriate. And things that we are showing our students are correct and not divisive or anything like that. So I think y'all probably seen this before, like the standards and such. I put this slide in here. It's kind of like a quick little ESOL 101. In education, you know we love acronyms. So here's a couple of acronyms you may see. EL is an English learner, ELL is an English language learner, and ML is a multi-learner. Those are all the same thing basically. Those are all the students, the English language learner. We're trying to just use EL, but you know, old habits die hard, so you may hear these other ones, but that's what that is. The one in the middle is our programs, the English speakers of other languages. And then coding, the services screen that you usually see in on-track over to the right. Sometimes you see a student has a 504 or special ed, ESOL, that's where you'll see these codes. IL is intensive English language. These are the students that are the first year in the country. Their English language proficiency is 1.0 to 1.9. They will stay in that IEL program. I think they are with Ms. Deep. Is that what she says? Yeah, they're usually with her. And they'll stay in there for a year. And they'll take the access test in the spring. No matter what they score on the access test, even if they still score like a 1.8, they've served their 1 year, they're going to have to move on to active status. Ultimately, we have to get these students graduated. You will have circumstances where you'll get a student here that's 19 years old, came from his home country, last time he's been in school, 2nd grade, and he has 10 credits. And you have to get him graduated before he ages out of 21. So, and of course, it's always the teacher's fault, right? But that's it's some of the battles that we fight. And so that's why I'm trying to ease the pain of trying to, because, you know, they don't know English. So he's coming in already, you know, everything against him at 19 years old, no credits, hadn't been in school even to be literate in his first language, and now you have to teach him English and get him graduated. So there's a lot of challenges that we face, and hopefully this will ease our pain. Active students are students that have exited the IEL program, but they're actively supported through ESOL services. So you'll see that and some of the kids will, they'll be in ESOL classes, but then they'll also be in your gen ed classes too, and that's fine, because they're being served probably somewhere throughout the day with classes ESOL support. In 1, 2, 3, and 4 is monitor. These students have exited the ESOL program through the access test that they take in the spring. You have to score a 5.0 overall on the composite to exit. They can be reclassified. Catherine will meet with any of the students and their teachers that scored a 4.5 or above, and you can reclassify them because they didn't really score the 5.0 to exit out. And if you're a senior, we can reclassify you at 4.3. So you don't have to go on to college or later in life, wherever you go, you know, with that ESOL status, we'll reclassify you at a 4.3. Waive, these parents of these students, they sign a waiver. They do not want their students, for whatever reason, to be served in the ESOL department or to receive any ESOL services. They can still receive accommodations if the TPC committee decides they can. However, they do not get any of the ESOL classes, any of the extra support. But they will have to take the access test because they are still considered an ESOL student. So just a quick little ELL 101. Anybody have any questions about that? Learning targets today, you're going to log into Ellevation, examine your EL data. You're going to identify activities to build your students' listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Browse Ellevation collections for your content and explore some professional opportunities and Ellevation modules. And Catherine and Rathke will go over that in a little bit. Real quickly, there's some post-it notes or in your head or on a piece of paper. Think about how many students you have, how many active ELT students you teach, or students you teach. What's the most common language by your students? And then at what proficiency level are your students at? Just kind of think about that. This is like all blocks you have. And while you're thinking about that, you can go ahead and boot your computer up because we're about to find out if you're right. Here's where you'll sign in. You can go ahead and sign into your Ellevation account. If you have Clever, you have a roster tied to your name, you'll have Clever. It's also in CTLS on the right side, all the way down. Use that little scroll bar, and it'll be under your district resources on CTLS.
I'm already there.
Oh, you're already in Ellevation. Yeah, you're good. You're already all done.
You're in. That's math project.
So can I get
Yes, you can click on that button there.
George.
All right.
I've got George.
Anybody having trouble getting in? Right here. Good? Not that. Not yet.
Well done.
I am the advanced learner. I'm gifted. Can I go now?
All right, so while Heidi's helping people log in, and we're making sure this all works, you guys should all be in Ellevation at this point, so we can all see that right now the biggest number of our students are Spanish speakers. Southside tends to be Spanish speakers, other parts of the country have different areas. North Cobb, Wheeler, more Portuguese. East Cobb is going to be more Asian, Hindi, things like that. We just get different areas where people move into. We deal with those languages. All right, now this is the entire school here. You guys should just see your kids that you have this semester. All right, so if you have a class, you're in Clever, you should be able to see the kids that you have that are ELL. All right, and you two might, because you guys are at Mentum, and you guys might be special on that one. Okay. But you can see all the kids. I can see all the kids. And what's going on? As you can see, most of our kids are active. We have 273 that are active. We have 42 that are monitored, meaning they've tested out of ESOL, and they're basically beyond that. We're just going to keep an eye on them, making sure they're okay. And we have one whose parents waived their ESOL rights.
Oh, he's in this class. He wins.
Excellent. All right. So, I'm going to keep talking to you.
I'm going to keep talking now. Okay, so Ellevation is professionally learning learning modules, which Catherine and Matthew will go over with you in a little bit. It is activities that we're going to go into, collections, and all with real-time student data. So that's the important part, is you're going to be able to connect this to your real-time student data. I'm going to go into Ellevation Live real quick with you. As he said, here's your 200 and some students, however many. If you have a screen that says no data, that means that you do not have any ESL students in your class right now, but you may have some next semester or next year. You will at some point, at the rate we're going, you will have an ELL in your class at some point, mark my words, because we're at almost 13,000 at the district level. So, yeah. So and with the south side area schools having the majority of them. So you will be getting ELL to your classroom. All these are hyperlinks. Play around, click. You can't break it. I'm going to show you a few things. Scroll down at the very bottom, and you will see your students, your student roster down here. So you click on one student. It's kind of like an on track. It gives the demographics of them. You have their schedule. You have their latest access. If they do not have any data over here, that means they did not take the access in 2024. That means they could have not enrolled till after access. They weren't here. They were absent, whatever. You see their schedule. You see their test results. This student has taken the access test several times, so he has this graph where you can see how they've done. These will all expand and see how they did in each area and overall. And then this next one, very important. This is the can-dos. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. This student right here is at a 3.8 in developing and listening. This is what he or she can do. This is where we're trying to push them. So it gives you kind of indicators on what they can do and where we're trying to push them. Speaking, you can see really low, 1.9. One's the lowest, so 6 being the highest. He's at a 1.9. So we got to push them here and making them do a little more.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important screen probably in the entire thing, because every child that you have in your class can speak and write and listen to English. All right? You will have them, they'll look at you and say, I don't understand. No entiendo. And you're like, yeah, you do. You got a 3.9. I know you can. Don't give me that. All right? We have enough people in here who have been married or been in relationships, your spouse or somebody, dominantly men, says, I don't know what you're talking about, and they get you to do it. Our students do the same thing, all right? They're not dumb. They know if I play helpless, you're just going to do it for me, or I'll move on not to do it, all right? These kids can do this stuff, all right? Every one of these students that you're bringing up has their can-do. These are where they are. They're already here. They can already do these things. So when you look at a kid and say, I need you to write me a paragraph, and the can-do says they can write a paragraph, he says, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. All right? Maybe you can't write a 3-paragraph paper, but you can write me a 1-paragraph paper. Does that make sense? We're trying to push them to here. But this is telling you what they can do on their test scores. Based on what they did on their access, this is where they are. Okay? So don't let the kids look at you and go, I don't understand, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. Do it. Push them. They are supposed to be learning English here, guys. That's what this ESOL is all about, them learning English. Okay. We're not teaching the class in Spanish. All right? Looking at them and saying, Ms. Farmer, please explain to Ms. Carmichael in Spanish what's going on. No, Ms. Carmichael knows what's going on. She needs to be doing this, okay? We're not using this as a Spanish class in whatever they're supposed to be learning. They're supposed to be learning English, guys. That's why their parents bring it. When she talks about the 19-year-old who enrolls with no credits, you know what they enrolled in? They don't give a crap about the diploma. They want them to learn English before they get out of here. Because they want them to get a job. All right? They're like, ooh, if I bring them here, they'll teach them how to speak English before they go get a job. That's why they're here. That's what we're supposed to be pushing them for. And that's why all these ESOL kids, if we can push them to do better, they get out. All right? Remember our ESOL kids? They are not like our special ed kids. All right? Our special ed kids, there is some issue where they can't, they struggle with learning. It's difficult for them. These kids, it's just the language. They already know the stuff. They can learn the stuff. They just don't know English well enough to do it. And that's what we're working on pushing them on. So please, use these can-dos for these kids to help push them. So look at them and go, guys, you can do this. I know it says you can. All right? Push them into it. They're not going to like it. Guys, we have regular American kids who don't want to do work for you guys. I mean, it's not just the immigrant kids, but regular Americans, I want to do that. Why? Because it's hard work. It makes their brain hurt. All right? Well, guess what? We got to make their brains hurt, guys. We got to make them grow. Exercise, thinking, all of it. In order to grow, you've got to put some pain. There's got to be some work involved. They can do this stuff. Don't let them snow you by saying, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. All right? Now, does that mean we might need to do a little support for some of these kids that have really low language issues? Yeah. Then we got to help them out a little bit. That doesn't mean they can't do the work. They just have to learn the language. We've got to help a little bit with that language. Okay? So don't buy into this, I can't do this stuff. They can. We just got to give them a little bit of assistance to get them there.
All right. Okay, so the rest of these, remember this platform is used across the United States. So certain districts purchase certain cards. These you will not use. I don't even know if you have access to. I think Catherine has access to a couple of them, but don't worry about these. Like I said, this is kind of like a mini little on track with hyperlinks that you can click on. So next we are going to go back to our PowerPoint, and we are going to do an activity that's in Ellevation. I'm going to be your teacher and you are my students, and we're going to take a virtual field trip. That's what it's called in Ellevation. I'll show you this. So looking at these pictures, all of you should have gotten one of these when you walked in. It's a KWL. Looking at these pictures, where do you think we're going, class? Vegas. Paris. Where else? Vegas. Anybody else? Arizona. So you are correct. We are going to Vegas. Now you probably wouldn't take your kids to Vegas, but we're all adults in here, so we can go to Vegas. So we're going to Vegas today. Okay? You have a KWL in front of you. I'll show you where these are when we go into the activities. Right now, you're going to speak to your partner because we're trying to get our students to speak more. And you're going to fill out the K and the W about what you know about Vegas and what you want to know. So speak to your partner for a minute before we take our virtual trip. It's hot. What you know about Vegas already. It's hot. What's something you know about Vegas already?
Dreams are made there.
Dreams are broken there. What's something that you want to know about money there? How many people go there per year? Okay, I like it. You got one right here.
Affordable restaurant, the top 5 affordable restaurants.
5, yeah. Well, let me know because it's all.
I know.
Better take your wallet. Exactly. Perfect. Thank you all so much. So now we're going to take our virtual field trip to Vegas.
Las Vegas is situated in the United States, in the western state of Nevada. Rising like an oasis from the Mohawk Valley, this city of over 1 million people enjoys 300 days of sunshine a year. Hey, buddy, were you fast to the suntan lotion? If ever there was a city that shouldn't be, it's Las Vegas. Starting life as a windswept watering hole on the Pioneer Trail, this is a city that continually beats the odds. Over the decades, Las Vegas grew into a kind of neon Pamela, whose casinos and rat pack style has become almost legendary. But if your ideas about Las Vegas look like an old Super 8 movie, prepare to be blown away. And I mean really blown away. This is not just a city. The Las Vegas of the 21st century is like visiting another planet, a pleasure planet. It's a total escapist fantasy. Everyone is here for a good time, from Grandma Joe to movie stars. Looking for a taste of classic Vegas Daddy-O? Head downtown to Fremont Street and into a world of old school cocktail lounges, piano bars, and classic casinos. Okay, now it's time to hit the strip. If everything's big in Vegas, it's 100 times bigger here. We're not talking casinos anymore, we're talking mythical cities. Whole worlds geared around you having the time of your life. Whatever mood floats your boat, you'll find it here. Fancy 3 days of unbelievable indulgence? Say buongiorno to the Bellagio and her incredible dancing fountains. Step back in time at the Luxor or Caesar's Palace. This is what ancient Egypt and Rome might have been like if they discovered electricity and cocktails or happy hours a little sooner. Feeling more tropically inclined? Kick off those heels and feel the sand between your toes at the Mirage and Mandalay Bay resorts. The resorts on the Strip are so vast and self-contained, it's possible to land in one and not step outside again for the rest of your stay. But you will step out and explore the unique themes of at least a few others, sampling the incredible shows, dining, and shopping experiences each one has to offer. If this neon paradise still ain't enough for you, Mother Nature has a few surprises of her own. That is, if you can find your way out. The Valley of Fire is just 50 miles out of town, and the Grand Canyon is a half a day drive away. But it's the nighttime descends, Vegas talks, like an incredible cluster of neon jewels in the desert sky. Las Vegas dazzles like no other city. She's here to remind us that we're here on Earth not for a long time, but for a good time. And Las Vegas will be the best time you've ever had.
Talk to your partners and you would put down what you learned about it. Our lower level students, you see at the bottom, we would have provided some vocabulary. I'll show you when we get to the activity that you can actually take it to the next level. There's a paragraph frame if you wanted them to write about it, just depending on what you want. I Googled this. This was a mixed media commercial, I guess, basically a video. You can do anything you want. You can take the kids anywhere you want, depending on your, your content. You just kind of be creative or whatever, and we'll give you some ideas. So that was virtual field trip. We're going to go back to PowerPoint here. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the live. Sorry. Okay, so we're back in Ellevation. What we're going to do now is we were in the students. Now we're going to go to strategies. It's at the very top. And you're going to see 4 little hyperlinks up here. This one's pathways. There's 9 pathways. These are for you as a teacher. Rafki and Catherine will go over this in a second. There's like 4 to 5 modules within a pathway. And then pathways are understanding multilingual learners, supporting newcomers, just different ones. The next tab is modules, which are these same modules that are in these pathways, but they're in alphabetical order where it's easier for you to see. Or find. You want to talk about this now, or you want to wait till the end?
Yeah, we can talk about
Okay. We'll talk about
that. Okay, so the pathways, there's 9. They have lots of modules in them. You're not expected to do a pathway because that would be a lot of work for you. What we are asking you to do is to do 1 module a semester. If you are a core content area, we would like for you to do the, come on. We want you to do the module called Introduction to Multilingual Learning. So modules are alphabetical. All right, so all you got to do is go down. So if you are a core content area, we want you to do Introduction to Multilingual Learners. If you are an elective teacher, we'd like to do Introduction to Newcomers. all
They'll put
right?
this up on the screen in a little bit, so you don't have to.
You will watch the module, go through it. It has you then do something with your classes where you might present something or try one of the things out, and then you come back and do reflections. We'll then give you a certificate. Either print out the certificate, if there's a digital certificate, that's fine, but send it to your evaluating administrator. All right? This must be done before Thanksgiving. So that gives you 3 months to get that done. Okay? 3 months to do one module.
So my after school kids, because that's who I have.
What?
My after school kids.
It's going to be something you're going to do in class. It's like a technique you might use. It's not something you're doing to your kids. It's something you're doing as you're teaching.
This is a platform for teachers only. Kids do not have access to this. This is a teacher-only
So this will be
platform.
something that you might go through and do the module. You're like, ooh, I want to try out this technique. And you use it on your kids, and you come back, you do your reflection on it. Oh, that worked well. Or, oh, I might tweak this. And that'll give you your certificate, and you're done. Okay? This is not. Now, when she shows you, she'll show you, it'll be like, it could be like 1 to 4 weeks. It shouldn't take you 1 to 4 weeks to do a module. All right? It's literally just kind of watch it, see what they're saying, try it out. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, make it up. You try a different one if you want. All right, we just need to do one this semester before Thanksgiving, and either print out the certificate and give it to your evaluating administrator, or if it gives you a digital one, email that to your evaluating administrator, so we give you guys credit for it. All right, it's part of our school improvement plan. We're trying to raise our ESOL scores. A couple years ago, we were last in the county for access scores. It was not good. This year we did quite well. We're above like 2 or 3 schools. We're not last anymore. So we're moving on up. So that's good. But we'd like to be number 1, and we'd like to keep pushing that. So obviously we're doing these kind of trainings to kind of help you guys better understand your ESOL kids and feel a little more comfortable with them, so that we can kind of get everybody kind of moving in that direction.
Perfect. Yeah, these are great. The ones he gave you, but then there's other ones kind of like the, some of you, we were just talking about them earlier, the kids that tested in ESOL in kindergarten, but are still in ESOL in 11th grade. Long-term ELs, like why is this happening? A little module about that. The SLI students, interrupted education, where they come to the country with 19 years old, no credit, last formal education was 3rd grade. So there's a module on that, how to work with those students. So these are for you as a teacher to go through. They're only assigning 1, but if you feel free, it's your platform for you. You have access to do whatever you want.
Next semester, your CCC will determine which one you want to do next. So you do 1 this semester, that we're giving you. Next semester, you will choose which one your CCC would like to do. So that would be 2 this year. 1 this semester, 1 next semester. So don't freak out. All right.
So the next tab we're going to go to is activities. This is where the fun begins. Okay, so you can filter depending on what you want to do. You have all these: building background, clarifying input, fortifying output, whatever you want to do there. We're going to click 9 through 12. We're going to leave all the domains open because we can teach any domain. We're going to click into virtual filter. It's the one that we just did together. You see this activity, again, this is a teacher portal, not for students. This video right here is for you to watch, not your students. So this video looks like it, well, 4th grade girl here, but you can see this is a K through 12 thing, but they will use a model. They might use a student that's in 4th grade to model what this is, but you know that it's for your students as well. So it'll tell you about them, their learning targets for the day for virtual field trip. It's going to give you a how-to. Tells you your before activity, during activity, evidence of success, some look-fors, what to watch out for, some quick tips. You got all of your links over here. You got your paragraph frame, your KWL that I printed up for you. They're in Word and in PDF. The Word you can manipulate, the PDF you can't. So they have those. Some of these links, and you will see, again, this is a platform across the United States, so some of these links might not work for you because they could have been blocked by our system, okay? We have no control over that, but just know. Then you can go to examples, and who do I have in here? I have math. So we're going to do 9 through 12 math. This is just an example, okay? It doesn't mean you have to teach this. This is just an example to show you how to teach this. You have your content objective, your language objective, and then it tells you teachers will explain that student will be taking a virtual field trip or participating in a digital video conference with real-world insurance underwriter to reimburse how statistical analysis affects insurance policyholders. Okay? So don't know. But these, if there's anything in here that they have shown you as an example that is divisive or something that you know you're not supposed to teach, please do not teach it, okay? Please do not teach it. I know I have to reiterate that a lot, but we know how that goes. So use your own creativity on how to do that. The best part about these activities is over on the far right side when I scroll down. Again, I'm logged in as Catherine, so she sees all students and South Top, all ELL students. These are your students where they have taken their, how they scored on the access test, they speaking level 1 and 2, tied it to virtual field trip, this one activity, and given you what they're going to need. These 1 and 2s are going to need high support. So all these students right here are going to need high support. They're going to need word banks, they're going to need visuals, they're going to need some sentence frames.
So it's already grouping them by data.
You
So
already
instead of
have
you
to
having to go through and group your kids, it can group them for you. All right, so we can look at it and go, these kids should all be together, and this is how they put them together, this is what the support you can give them. So if you, instead of you having to come up on your own, you just look at it and go, oh, these kids, they need this help, these kids need this help, these kids need this help.
Yep.
It helps you out, it speeds it up a little bit, so you're not having to come up with it all on your own, having to come up with all these different things.
Of course, you can use it for this activity for any students, your gen ed, special ed, whatever. You just won't have the data piece like you do for the EL, but it's more than, the kids will enjoy a virtual field trip. You got your moderate support students over here, and then at the end, you got your light support. So these students are almost proficient in speaking domain, and so they're going to need to be challenged. Okay? You're going to need to have them write, you're going to have to use an academic language, things like that. You're going to push them. Okay? Any questions with activities? And there's 108 activities. Okay, the next one, I'm going back to my strategies tab up here. Very slow. Oh. The next one you're going to go to is collections. Hopefully yours is not as slow as mine. Y'all being slow too?
Yes.
Did you just lose your-
Here we go.
Remember, if you guys have any questions at all on any of this stuff, you should email Heidi McCravey. This is her. She loves emails from teachers. Remember, you do not email me, you email Heidi McCravey. Again, Heidi McCravey, not me. I don't know her. Heidi McCravey. Heidi McCravey. How it is working with kids. Come on now. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. See?
So Brian got
Joy. But I'm just gonna pass on. And again, Ms. King can also help with some of this, but Heidi's gonna be our contact account. This is what she does. So again, ask her questions. She wants to help you guys. She wants to help our kids be successful with this stuff. So anything we can do to help is obviously beneficial for them.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the city will. Oh wait, it's coming up. Okay. So the last one is collections. It's loading. This is going to be, you can type keywords and it has some stuff in there for like first day of school, things like that you can do. But I like to filter. I would do, here we go. 9, 10, 11, 12. Then we got math in here. Okay, so y'all see anything exciting? Add, subtract vectors. You know that. Why do I still have? Look, it's reading up everybody. This thing's acting wonky today.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
We promised it was working for the first three, so.
Yeah, it must be my math. Okay, let's just take matrix quantities. How about that? That looks like fun. Okay, so what this is going to do is kind of like, it's not a lesson plan, it's not a unit plan, but it is stuff for you to embed in your lesson plan and unit plan. Kind of set up like your instructional framework, where you have your hook or your intro, so you have an activity, like the one we just did, we did virtual field trip, this one's called Double Vision. You have 3 downloads, a video to watch, 3 links inside there. Direct construction, you can use 5 and 2. Student practice, think right here, Sharon, y'all have heard of one of those before. Again, but your student data is tied to each one of these activities, so when you click in there, you can see your students and their data for that. and then the expert and the novice. And some of them will have an assessment one piece where you can see if they, master the standard. So all of these, you just click in them. It's just like you did the other one. Not that it's going to work. There we go. Exactly like the same one. You got your students down the side. You got all your organizers, your how-tos, examples like that. Okay? Okay, let's go back to our PowerPoint. Okay, here's the modules that Raffi was talking about earlier. So this is for you as a teacher. You know which module you're supposed to do. She'll put it up on the screen in just a second. You're going to learn it in Ellevation. It'll take you about 45 minutes. You'll watch a video. There's some questions or whatever. You'll teach it to your classroom. You'll see kind of how it went. You'll go back and you'll reflect back in there. I think it gives you some kind of badge or a certificate when you can complete it. So that's what she'll do, and she'll tell you about those. Here is our resources, CTLS ESOL Community, the Ellevation homepage, Resource Center. Bless you. District English Learner Programs Consultant Team. We just kind of changed our name this week. We were ESOL 503 IOPC, but now we're English Learner Programs. Heidi. That's right. We're printing all the elementary schools, Lake the middle schools, and I do all 17 high schools. So I do really love emails. But I'll just forward the Raffi. But yeah, please send me email. Yeah, exactly. Then don't worry, we got them taken care of. So, but seriously, if you need anything, please reach out to me. Connect with us on X if you're doing some great things. If you try some of these elevation strategies in your classroom, please tag us at Cobb County ESOL. We love to see the cool, neat things that y'all are doing with the students. And I'm going to put up a survey for you to complete for me, please. But then stay seated because she has something to put up as well. So here's a survey right here. If anybody has any questions, I'll be staying after to talk about it if you need. And the name of the PL is Ellevation